I'm going to start with how I put mine together. I use pipe cleaners. With the leg that's got quite a big hole in it, it's quite nice. I take a little bit of my super glue and my normal tacky glue. If I want to get my tacky glue, feed some tacky glue in. Give a drop of the super glue just to help it set quite quicker, and I push that in and I give it a moment to dry. Now I do the same with both legs, obviously. And drop of super glue. Now I don't cut my pipe cleaners until I've done this piece. Now this super glue I've got now actually gets quite hot. It's quite funny to feel, because last week when we were working with it, we actually got smoke. It's like, okay, never had that happen before, so it's obviously a different brand, and yeah, it's just quite unusual. Okay, once you've done that, you can grab your scissors and just cut off your pipe cleaner. If you don't want it too long, it's going to go into a body, so I'm going to just, I could have got the pliers. That part's going to go into her body fairly shortly, and this side as well. There we go. Now with mine, I actually decided beforehand exactly how I wanted her to stand. So I got my stance, for want of a better way. Sort of had worked out in advance what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, so that I could plan how her legs were standing. Because don't worry about that gap. That gap you can fill in. It's just a matter of using glue and covering the glue up. Because she stands so beautifully, like she's stepping into water, like I've done here, I tend to really like that way. Now, because she really is an all-in-one doll, I decide on how I want my stance, and I put a little bit of super glue on here, and I in fact glued it together. Now you can also use a glue gun for this, and what I found was interesting with the glue gun is that the glue gun gave me bulk. I want to get that there. Here's my zapper. Hi, sorry, I'm back again. Humble apologies about the dogs barking. Unfortunately, I have got 6 dogs inside today. The builders are busy with my studio downstairs, so we just really have to put up with a little bit of extra inconvenience. I apologize. Anyway, getting back to just taking off a little bit of the rough edges on this leg. I'm going to put her leg in there now, and I'm going to fill in a bit with some glue from the glue gun. Now please remember, your glue gun is incredibly hot. You'll see mine is in fact giving off smoke already. It is that hot. Please be very, very careful when working with a glue gun. I have an industrial glue gun, so of course mine is a little bit hotter than a normal one. A hobby gun doesn't get as hot as this, thankfully, but I like this one that gets so incredibly hot for me. Right, let's get her there. Now what I am going to do is I've turned the heat of my gun down to the lowest setting that I can get it on, and I'm going to just gently fill in a little bit of glue along this joint, just so that I can get it nice and smooth. Now you could actually do this as well with your polymer clay or your Fimo. I just like the fact that I can do it now and not have to worry about baking my clay just now to set it. So just gently around there. When your clay, when your paint, whoa, I'll get that right eventually. When your glue is touchable, wet your finger and just gently, there we go, and you'll see you can actually almost smooth it out completely. Once we paint that, you in fact will not notice that joint at all, because remember, we're going to hide a lot of this with your beads and things. I'm going to, not quite sure how I want her leg to stand. I quite like that one as it is. Maybe we should make her, this one stepping back. Let's do that. That she's stepping forward and lifting that leg. I'm going to leave her in that stance. Now what I want to do is I want to build up a little bit of glue around here, just so that I don't have to have, sorry, it does look like this is going to be our morning for interruptions. I do apologize. Anyway, getting back to what we were doing, I'm slowly going to build up. Just want to load my glue gun. Here we go. We're going to slowly build up glue on this hip bum joint here. Now, so look, you can do this if you wanted to. You could do this with polymer clay. I don't like polymer clay personally. This is something I've never quite got the hang of. So I'm going to just gently put some on. Remember, my glue is incredibly hot. What is nice about the glue is that you can also cut it away if you've got too much. Don't want to put too much on at once. Let it just start setting there. While that one is setting, I'm going to just prop her there for a moment. I hope she's going to stay there. Oh, come on, don't be difficult, lady. Okay, let's just prop her there for now. While that one is busy, I'm going to just do this one as well. Now, what is nice about the glue gun is that it sticks almost instantly. And then this, we'll actually remove some of this just now. If you wanted to make teardrops or anything like that on your doll, which you'll see I did in porcelain here, you could in fact do it in this stage as well while playing with the glue gun. Let's just get this glue off my table, because once the glue gun starts flowing, it does flow. So let's just get this one, glue in here. There we go, and get that one in there. I'm going to make her leg standing just a little bit back like that. I will sort that foot out that we were busy with earlier that I never got right. Just want to put a little bit of glue on this join of hers. Gently does it. And there it's done. Now this glue sets pretty quickly, so you don't have to go into panic mode about it taking too long. I'm going to use my arms. I'm going to put a drop of the super glue there. Bad habit, putting the cap in my mouth and trying to talk. This is really too small to try and use a glue gun with, so I'm going to just dot a super glue and put the thin side down. Now that you'll see we're going to cut that fairly soon. I want to put this foot of hers back on again. She's determined to lose this foot of hers today. Give her a nice ankle bracelet around this foot. Okay. Oh, come on. Funny how when you're working with super glue you get yourself stuck to everything. I think I'm stuck to her foot and her foot's still not stuck to her leg. Okay, if that happens, the easiest way to stop that is just take all the glue that's on there off and just give it a scrape down there quickly. I've obviously got too many layers that have dried on there. Obviously it had been broken before, and I just want to get that out there because there's no grip on it. Let's try that one again. There we go. And just be safe and sorry, give it a spray of the other glue. I'm going to just put a tiny dot across there just to, there we go. Right, I just want to wipe my table. My table's always full of glitter. it stands to reason because I'm always playing with these sort of things. Once your glue is started to set, you can actually polish it down or sand it down with a sanding block so that it's even. Now I'm going to leave that bit of glue that fell across her tummy. I'm going to make it into a feature. Let's just put a little bit more glue here. And if you've got glue somewhere where you don't want glue and it's still hot, use a toothpick or point or something and just move it to where you really want it. If it won't a scalpel works very well doing this. I in fact will get my scalpel shortly because it doesn't stick to the porcelain. It comes off quite nicely. There we go. So in putting her together this way, I have got her standing as a solid doll. I don't need to do anything. I can change her stance. I'm happy with the way she is. So we've got a bit of a bubble there. And I'm going to do the same with her arms. Now, I found putting my entire doll together easier for me while I was painting, so I could have my paint line up. Now you'll see I did most of the faces that had to be painted. People had asked me to paint for them. I did. But what I did do is leave some of it for you. It's so easy and it's actually so much fun. And what I did do, which was quite fun, my mum can't hold a paintbrush. So we did something a little bit different. And all this on here was in fact done with an Artline fine liner. I liked the muted effect it gave us eventually. So if you can't hold a paintbrush, like a lot of people can't, well, guess what? You can do it with your art liner. Let's just get our arm in. I sort of roughly knew how I wanted her to stand. I'm going to put her, well, how your butterfly stands, I'm going to put her arms out slightly. She just looks like she's ready to take off that way. Give her a dot of glue. I seem to have jammed my glue pot up. So, there we go. It's incredibly hot here today. It must be 35 degrees Celsius outside. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. I've never worked out why we work in Celsius and everybody else in Fahrenheit, but it's hot. It's really hot. It'll be lovely when we're in our new studio, because the new studio has huge glass doors that open onto the garden. So we'll be able to do these sort of workshops next time in our garden, which should be quite interesting. Okay, just want to get my, so that was me being silly. I just want to, I've now got super glue all over this doll. I didn't see it running in there. And what it does is it actually goes hard on your pipe cleaner and makes it hard for the pipe cleaner to go in. So, let's just do that quickly. That's better. There we go. Now that I've got her, the basic stance of her, painting her really could be any way you want. Remember, again, this is a fantasy workshop. We don't normally have ladies with tattoos. Well, okay, we do have ladies with tattoos like this, but under normal circumstances she wouldn't have butterfly wings. What I'm going to do is I always somehow start here, and I just give her her cups, and from there I start drawing in my twirls. Now I love this bubble that she's got here, and I'm going to make this into a part of a feature just now. I'm going to just bring it round like that, and right here on her hip I think she can have a little butterfly, which we'll paint just now. Now when you carry it down to your legs, just not too much, because remember we're going to put a lot of glitter and stuff on here just now. Take some of those markings off. don't worry too much about her back too soon, because remember her wings will go on her back. Although I did do quite a lot of work on her back. This particular one doesn't have wings, but on the original one I did as well. You'll see here now where I'd filled in with the glue gun, and I'd done quite a lot of painting, and then realized that most of it you actually can't see. So remember that when you are drawing in your pattern and design that you want. I like to take, now you'll see this doll's got lots of imperfections on it. I did this deliberately, just to give you ideas of how one could utilize a doll that's wasted, a doll that you would normally throw away. Now if you look at the painting, every one of them is slightly different. So draw in your markings the way you sort of see them or imagine them. If you like flowers, draw flowers. There's nothing engraved in stone here that says you've got to do it a specific way. Let's just put this doll away out of our front here. I want to grab another pair of, get that out of our way. I'm going to work between these two dolls this morning, so you'll see me sort of flip between the two workshops. They're both the same doll. I'm just giving you ideas of how different you can make one doll. And every one of these is going to be incredibly different. Even the ones that I painted for the people, I found were very different. Each one somehow formed her own character, her own personality. Okay, just gently touch that down. Now I've let my glue gun dry down, cool off a little bit, so that I can handle my glue a little bit better on this section. I didn't want to burn myself, and I didn't want my glue too runny, so I'm just putting it on. Now your normal hobby glue gun should be this sort of temperature where you are able to handle it. Let's go around like that. Give her a little bit more bulk here on her bum. And remember, anything you don't like when you've done it, you can always just take it off. There we go. Just gently pat it in. You can use, you want to get rid of any sort of sharp feelings you've got there. Now because she's got this whole leg I'm going to have to cover, I'm going to make this leg her main feature. So this is going to be the bulk of my beadwork and stuff is going to be on this hip. I might even create a flower and put it on there and work out from the flower, which will be quite interesting to sort of play with. Let's, okay, she's going to stand walking backwards, so I wonder if we shouldn't do that. Let's create a flower out of, let me go and find some of my silk flowers I've got lying around. Be back in a moment.